Well, in fact, Niranjan, not often do you get the kind of access that we've actually got right now. This is one such training center. This is what we have been reporting through the last 48 hours. While I'll ask Rawatji to stay with the visuals, I'll explain what's really happening, because what we are witnessing right now, if at all that the Ukrainian army has been able to push back the Russian troops, that's also because not just of the valor of the Ukrainian army, but also the fact that civilians have come out in full support. It's the civilians like this that you see right now. They are being given the kind of training, weapons training, tactical training. Those trainings are being given to them so that they can also participate and try and help the Ukrainian army. In fact, let me bring in a young gentleman. He's George, who's been also given the kind of training. I'll ask Rawatji to come in a while back to George, but stay with the visuals while I bring in George, speak to George, and try and understand what's really happening. George, thank you very much for speaking to Republic Media Network. Let me begin by asking you, can you explain it for all our viewers? What's really happening here? What are the kind of training that is given to you? How many people have you seen in the last few days who've come in, who've joined your army, who want to help the army?
Actually, I've seen hundreds and thousands of people who would like to support army and defend our city. And all these guys will be a force to defend our city, Lviv.
So, George, can you tell me what's actually happening right now? Unfortunately, there is a language barrier. I can't understand what your instructor is saying. Tell our viewers what's really happening right now.
This instructor tell us to move inside war zone. Also, he tell us that we shouldn't behave by ourselves and we should form a group. Because when you would like to move in war zone, someone should protect you all the time. So if you're moving first, second one should protect you. Then you signal him like, stop, now you should move, I will protect you.
So, how many days do you all come here for your training? Is there any specified number of days that you have to come here every day starting from 9 o'clock in the morning for getting training? Or it's like whoever comes, gets themselves registered, gets the training and then moves out?
I think that it's like introduction training, and other trainings we will have in different places. So basically it's my first day here.
That's your first day?
Yeah, it's my first day and it was our first training.
Okay.
Another one will be a little bit different about other weapons.
So how was your training like? What were the things that you were taught today?
Hello? I don't get it. It's like...
so what were the things that you were taught today? When you came here, what is it that you learned today?
Basically, they tell us how to move inside war zone. Okay. And other trainings, they tell us how to behave with RPG-7 and other weapons. Also, they told us how to work with the AK-47. Okay. Also, they show us mines, landmines, how to notify them and how to destroy them.
Okay.
Also, they will teach us how to do first medical care.
Okay. So, tell us a little bit more, George, about the difficulties that Ukrainians are facing right now. Many would say that today you are being very successful in this war is because the support that the army is getting from the civilians is getting stronger by the day. What do you have to say?
I would like to say that it's not only by civilians, our all people trying to help how they could, like civilians try to help army, volunteers try to support them with the things, etc. But also the guys in some places that already occupied try to somehow stop tanks. It was like in news when only one guy tried to before the tank, and tried to move them back. Like,
So you would say that almost everyone, your friends and everyone they're not leaving the country. They are all coming here.
All the friends I know trying to help and do not want to leave, like volunteers, like soldiers. Also, I have few friends who are now in Kiev, like soldiers.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do not anyone of my friends who left the country.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what we are seeing right now? What is this area like? What kind of training do you all get? Or this is your first day, so you may not have an idea what's here.
We won't hear,
Okay.
but as you see, it's for tactical moving.
Okay.
I was in the area like that before, and we.
Can you this is the area that is the area
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
get
yeah.
the tactical training?
Yeah, it looks like an area for tactical training, but we won't hear with the instructor.
Okay.
I just see how it looks like,
Okay.
and
So you are giving weapon training, you are given tactical training, you are given training as to how to navigate when there is a mine around you. All these trainings are given to everyone who comes here.
But it was like they tell us what should we do. They show us the weapons, but we didn't really do anything with the weapon. Like we didn't shoot.
Okay, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It'll be after.
Can I ask you this question, George? That you are living in times of war. Is there any sense of fear that are there times that you get a little scared of what's really happening, because cities after cities where strikes are happening, missile strikes are happening? Are you scared, George?
Actually, I wasn't scared even in the first day because I believed in our army,
Okay.
and now we see that our army is the best.
So you feel that Ukraine is emerging victorious, despite the kind of. Okay, what about the kind of support? Do you believe that the world has now come in full support of Ukraine, or you still feel that there should be more support that should come in for Ukraine?
Actually, we even didn't expect this full support for all the countries, but one thing that we're waiting for is the closed sky from NATO, because we cannot protect our sky from all the rockets, etc. And we already have 1 million signs for a petition to NATO to help us to close the sky.
I think so. Right now, George, they're taking one more, the kind of weapon training, if I'm not wrong. So,
Yeah, it's
so
one.
let me also try and tell our viewers as to what's really happening, because we've got access right now. If our producers can also just tell us the images that we are showing right now. In fact, viewers, what you see right now is the kind of training that is imparted in various parts of Ukraine, primarily to the civilians. What you see right now is one of the Ukrainian army soldier who's basically imparting training to the civilians. And what we have witnessed here is that, as you've already seen, George, are you a student, George?
No, I'm not a student.
Not a student, okay. So, but there are several youngsters who are here. There is a huge crowd that you would see right inside. Perhaps it's on the other side where you would essentially see a lot of civilians entering. They've carried with themselves food. They've been staying here since morning. From 9 o'clock onwards is when the training basically begins, and it continues till about 6 o'clock in the evening. What you are witnessing right now is one such program, which is largely seen as the tactical program. So the instructor right now is basically telling how to use one of the weapons, how to move around. As George was pointing out, that how do you move around in an area which is a war zone? So what are the kind of moves that are you supposed to make? And more importantly, they are basically part of a group. The movement that is supposed to be taken when you are moving around in a group. The formation, what you see right now, is basically a teaching of how the formation should take place when a group is basically moving around. So it's pretty much like what an army buddy movement takes place, that every soldier moves around with a buddy. Pretty much like what you see right now is that's exactly what is happening, what we are witnessing before our eyes right now. On the other side, I'll also quickly
The only Indian channel inside a training camp in Ukraine. We'll go back to the pictures the moment we have Shravan back live with us. Many Ukrainian cities have been overrun. Let me go back to Shravan. I think he's live with us again. Shravan, over to you. Lost the phone line once again there with Shravan. We will go back to him the moment we have that connection back. That's Republic TV reporting from inside a military camp where Ukrainians are being trained. So we are inside the camp as civilians line up to pick up arms. The only Indian channel reporting from inside the Ukrainian war zone and also from the venue where the talks are being held. It's as close as you can get to the war zone as we continue to report straight for day number 8. Let's play out a report and we'll go back to Shravan in a bit.